I have to say, if foam is the new standard, I'm all in. Not only is Carbon a great company with great owners, they make a great paddle and this new lineup is fire. Hey guys, just so you know, if you'd like to enter in for a chance to win one of these paddles for free, check out the link below for a giveaway, or if you want to buy it now, just use our discount code BrionesPB for a great discount. Let's geek into it. Okay, so we have here the Genesis. They call it TRUfoam. The owner sent me 3 types of paddles. Both 1 and 3 are pretty identical, almost the same dimensions. And number 2 is my favorite of all time, the standard wide body shape. All are 14 millimeters. So, quick story. The owners are from California, and since growing up surfing, he looked at surfboards and how the foam inside that gave surfboards an advantage. Light, durable, responsive. I can see it. He wanted that same effect for their pickleball paddles. Gone are the days of 16, 14, 13, 12, or whatever millimeter you thought you needed for power and control. This is a heavy statement from Carbon, but I think it's true. They actually went completely away from the entire old generation of pickleball paddle making process. This is crazy because the entire paddle core is completely 100% foam, and it's not EVA or PMI foam. Previous paddle generations, including just about every company, had to rely on core thickness to balance power and control, due to the limitations of manipulating honeycomb polypropylene. That being said, the reason why all their paddles are 14 millimeters, and there is no more reason for other millimeter options, is because the foam inside can be dispersed and placed just perfectly set inside the core. It simulates the power that is needed for whatever limitations the USAP or UPA paddle standards are testing. It is PB Core 43 approved. Just like the new gearbox I reviewed last time, this lineup is actually way better. And I think it's because of the foam. For 2025, we are stepping away from power, which I believe is the right step for pickleball. With a new PB Core rule, it will put a limit on most companies. And I'm actually impressed to see how Carbon just completely reinvented the wheel and got away with it. When I say it's 100% foam, there is 0 honeycomb inside this thing. It is literally all foam inside. So is the power completely gone? Absolutely not. The dwell time and flex the core provides actually increases spin and imitates a tennis racket effect. I was so confident that I actually used this in a tournament out of the box. I can attest that the power and spin was so comfortable and the break-in period was almost no time at all. I walked away from every point happy with the result I got. From shaping the ball and attacking my opponents with speed ups, I hope you guys just try it. This is entirely a different feel from honeycomb or any other paddle I've actually played with. I actually played for 10 hours, 5 hours each day, without any elbow issues whatsoever. And I'm recovering from tennis elbow. So if that's something you guys were questioning about, I am a firm believer that TRUfoam is the way to go. And I was smacking the ball as hard as I could. So let's get into the geeky stuff. Just like the other models, you do have enough room on this handle to perform any type of backhand stroke, or get enough whip to put the ball away. These are the same millimeters, but they are all different in dimensions and size, for your preference but with almost the same results. The Genesis one is 16.5 inches long, and it has the smallest width of all 3. It is 7.35 inches width, but out of all these paddles, it has the longest handle at 5.5 inches. With the smallest width, it does naturally have a lower twist weight at 5.75, but compared to the other paddles, this is actually not a very bad twist weight. This is still very moderately stable, with the foam even more forgiving than you would get with a honeycomb. The swing weight is 118, so light and quick for the backhand flicks or counters when getting attacked. The Genesis 3 is similar, almost identical, still 16.5 inches long, but 5.25 inch handle. Tad bit shorter, but still good. The width is 7.5 inches, so a little wider, which brings the twist weight up to 6.21. It is a bit higher, but you get a bigger stability within that vicinity. Good for the fast hands, but just a tad more forgiving. The swing weight is measured at 120. So with the 3, you get more power and better control than the 1. I prefer this one over the 1. Heavier means more forgiveness, control, less customization with lead weights. And just as a side note, as soon as you hold these paddles, they do feel heavy out the box. Its weight is pretty balanced though. So starting from the Genesis 1 to the Genesis 3, it ranges in weight from 7.8 ounces to 8.3 ounces. Now for my absolute favorite, the Genesis 2 wide body bad boy. 16 inches long, 5.25 inches in handle length, and 7.85 inch width. With the body that wide, the twist weight is a solid forgiving 6.75. This gives zero room for any mistakes. Drives, counters, backhands, anything, you name it. I blame the foam. The swing weight is 113. So in theory, with other honeycomb paddles, this is supposed to give you the ability for faster hands and less control. But since it's a wide body and the foam is placed in the perfect position, its control was phenomenal. This was the paddle I used for the tournament. Can't complain. Each paddle has the same T700 carbon fiber face like other lineups, but they added a layer of fiberglass for a little more strength and performance reasons. I mean, it does help plow the ball. So if you were used to carbon's face in the past with their other models, no worries, it's all the same. The beautiful thing about these paddles is that they will last you for months on end. Because of the foam inside, you will not get any delamination, no core crushing, or nothing like that at all. This paddle will last you and hold up against the test of time. I've heard many complaints from many players about how many paddles they have to go through with other companies, and it's just ridiculous the amount of money you end up spending at the end of the year. With the TRUfoam and Carbon's innovative engineering, I believe this will change the industry forever. Thank God for surfers. So I highly recommend this paddle for anybody. I mean, out of the box, it was easy to hit any shot I wanted to. All 3 models feel different, so the only choice you're going to have to make is the paddle size, dimensions. If you're used to the type, get the elongated one. If you're used to the wide body, get the wide body. If you're used to the in-between version with a bigger face and a longer body, get that one. I mean, they're all good. The way they play is just phenomenal. I was so happy with the results I got. Whenever you make contact with the ball, it just feels so much more plush. Performing at a high level at my tournament was not an issue at all. The foam just did wonders. I don't think there's anybody I wouldn't recommend this paddle to. Beginners, advanced, intermediate, I think anyone would feel comfortable playing with these. And since the pros are going to be playing with them, you could recommend them to pros too. Learning the game on this paddle or perfecting the game is actually going to be a lot easier with this paddle model. Like I mentioned before, if you guys have elbow issues, the foam takes away all the vibrations and I felt no pain after I was done playing. Carbon team, thanks so much for sending in these paddles. Thank you for what I believe is setting the standard for the next generation of pros and pickleball fanatics. Just remember guys, if you want to win one of these paddles and for a chance to win in the link below, or if you want to buy it right now, use our discount code BrionesPB. I promise you, you're not going to regret getting this paddle, especially if you are an aspiring pro playing on the tour. It's going to be a requirement to play with the USAP standard rule for PB Core approved paddles. So might as well hop on the bandwagon. Thanks again for listening guys. See you on the courts.